Today I will be reading Chapter 2 of Section 1 of Star Wars The Clone Wars Grievous Attacks. Alright, let's begin. So, Chapter 2. The Rishi moon had a thin atmosphere and a rocky, crater-poked surface. The Republic outpost, perched on the rim of one of the moon's many deep craters, was the only sign of life on the stark and desolate lunar plain. There was a landing platform, a crew module, and an array of antennae. But all in all, it was a lonely sight. A single clone trooper stood sentry on the landing platform. With his macro binoculars, he scanned the distance. But as usual, there was nothing out of the ordinary to see. "This is the deck officer checking in," he said into his comlink. "There's nothing to report." Inside the outpost, several clone troopers hung around the base's control center. Some just sat staring at the blank security monitors. Others arm wrestled or just talked. A battle-scarred clone entered the room. He looked around the others disapprovingly. "Attention!" one of the clones called out. "Sergeant on deck!" "At ease," Sergeant O'Niner ordered. "Even though you are all new here, I shouldn't have to remind you that this quadrant is the key to the outer rim. If the droids get past this station, they can surprise attack the facilities where we were born on our home world of Kamino." The clone troopers all nodded soberly. They knew what was at stake. "There are some officers on the way," the sergeant continued, "so I want everyone squared away for inspection. Understood?" "Sir, yes, sir," all the clones responded in unison. Just then, something strange appeared on one of the scopes. "Sir, incoming meteor shower!" The clone monitoring the scope called out. "Raise the shield," the sergeant ordered as the clone troopers hurried to their stations. Outside the outpost, several small meteorites tore across the sky and smashed into the outpost's shields, vaporizing instantly. However, a few managed to get past the shields and slam down on the surface of the moon, creating giant craters in the ground. Inside one of the smoke-filled craters, a small droid landing pod came to a rest. Back on the landing platform, the clone trooper scanned the horizon with his macro binoculars. In the distance, he could see the droid pod. "What the?" he said as he moved to activate his comlink. Before he could report back, a droid head rose into view. He dropped the binoculars and saw 4 frightening commando droids surrounding him. Another droid came up from behind and hit him in the back with a shock stick. The clone screamed as he fell to the ground. 6 more commando droids climbed out of the pod. They raised their weapons as they charged toward the outpost. "Get those doors open," the droid captain called out. "Roger, roger," they all replied in unison. "CT-327, report in," Sergeant O'Niner called into his comlink. "Sentry, do you copy?" "Interference from meteors?" a trooper asked as he manned the control console. From the outpost viewports, the clone troopers looked out at the landing platform for the sentry. "I don't see him down there, Sarge," a trooper called out. O'Niner pointed at 2 of the clones. "You 2, he said. "Go find him." The 2 clones grabbed their helmets and walked toward the blast door. As the door slid open, they saw 6 commando droids creeping toward them from down the corridor. "Droids!" they yelled. This was the first time that they'd seen a real droid, and they were caught off guard. They turned to run back into the control center, but before they could make it back, the droid captain opened fire. The 2 clones dropped to the floor, dead. One of the clones hit an alarm button on the console. They needed to alert the fleet to send reinforcements. He waited for a moment, but nothing happened. He hit it again. Still nothing. "They disabled the beacons!" he called out. "Get a message to the fleet," O'Niner ordered. "We have to warn," but a laser blast hit him before he could finish. The rookie clones reacted with horror and surprise as their sergeant collapsed to the floor. On the ground, O'Niner struggled to roll over onto his back. He raised his blaster, but one of the commando droids kicked it from his hand. The droid looked down at 09er and fired its blaster straight at him. The commando droids turned their attention to the remaining rookie clones, who rushed back to the control room. One of the clones hit a panel and the blast door slammed shut. He popped open the control panel and ripped out a handful of wires. "That should slow those buckets down," he said as one of the other clones opened a small hatch that led into a maintenance tunnel. "This way, hurry!" he said, and a shower of sparks came from the blast doors. The droids were cutting their way through. By the time the droids had cut their way into the control room, the clones were gone. "4 clones escaped, Captain," a droid reported. "They don't matter," the captain replied. "Hardwire the all clear signal and contact General Grievous." That was Chapter 2 of Section 1, Rookies, of Star Wars The Clone Wars, Grievous Attack. I want to apologize for the quality of the first chapter. It's my first time doing that, and yeah, I'm slowly getting used to it. But thanks for listening. Check out the last video I recorded and uploaded. It would have been the review of the G1 Optimus Prime truck that I built in Minecraft. I will be reading and possibly uploading Chapter 3 tomorrow. But we'll see how that plays out. So, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.